To get a sense of the full picture of what is happening across the country on the ballot initiative front, we are joined by Sue Liebel of Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America. Sue has a national overview as the organization's state affairs director. She also serves a dual role as its Midwest regional director. Sue, welcome. It's great to speak with you. I first want to get your take on Florida. Some pro-lifers believe Florida could become the first state to defeat an abortion amendment. What are your thoughts?
I think that's entirely possible. Don't give up hope. Stay in the game. Amendment 4 is so deceptive and so extreme that those facts have come out early and often. Governor DeSantis has been an incredible voice to get that message out so that the lies and the deception won't be believed. We've seen that, unfortunately, in other states. But in Florida, Floridians are getting the truth, and they're getting it early. It is abortion up until birth. It is too extreme for Florida. Even President Trump opposes, you're not sure where he's at, but we know he opposes abortion after 5 months. And this amendment would go way past that. So we think Florida is a beacon of hope.
You mentioned Governor DeSantis. Can you speak more about the role he's been playing in the state's pro-life momentum? And would you like to see more action from other states' pro-life governors and leaders?
Absolutely. I think he's just being a role model in all of this because, you know, Hollywood and the media, the mainstream media, the liberal bastions of abortion are all out there. It's hard to get the truth out there sometimes, but our elected officials who have that bully pulpit and will use it can get that message out and help voters understand what the question actually says, what that actually means, and how to vote. So I think that Governor DeSantis has really led the way. And I know I'm talking with other states and other governors about doing the same.
You mentioned how former President Donald Trump has expressed he is against late-term abortion, but are you concerned that his comments this week that Florida's current 6-week abortion ban is too short? Are you concerned that might sway voters to end up supporting Amendment 4?
Well, I certainly hope not, because while I'm against abortion at any stage, there's a huge difference between Florida's existing abortion law and abortion all the way up until birth. That's such a huge gap. And so what Floridians need to understand is that this amendment would take abortion all the way up until birth, which some people don't believe actually happens, but it does. So it's really true. It would also make it throw women under the bus, make it so that the health and safety standards won't apply, that it won't even have to be a doctor that does the abortion. And most importantly, too, take away parental rights so that parents won't have any rights in their child abortion. All the stuff you talked about leading up to this interview that I was listening to, it's all true.
Yeah. Sue, what about other states with abortion on the ballot? 10 states, will be voting on it this November. How are you feeling about that?
We are always concerned because of the experience of other states of how much money the other side spends. For example, in Ohio last November, they spent $60 million. Overall, in the past, 6 states have passed up. They've $2.5 million they spend. They have an unlimited amount of money. Unfortunately, they spend that to put TV commercials on that say women won't get health care. That's not true. They put on TV commercials that make you think that if you don't vote yes, the world's going to. It's not true. All 50 states have laws that allow health care for women. No one's going to do that. So we have learned a little bit about how the other side plays dirty. And it's hard to combat that, but we do. And as you see, lots of players in Florida already in the game. Already speaking out, men, women, religious leaders, others. And it's really, really important that we do that, and we do that often. So we help people understand and not believe what they're going to be seeing on TV.
Absolutely. Just expanding on that point, as someone who has been steeped in the pro-life movement, Sue, for years, what is your big picture prognosis as to why the life issue is consecutively losing on the state level since Dobbs?
Well, unfortunately, as I said, the other side has an unlimited amount of resources to confuse and lie to viewers or radio listeners or wherever you're getting their messaging. It's just not true. In fact, they say that this is not that extreme, but the states that have already done it, Michigan and Ohio, they've already started then. They passed theirs, and now they're taking away all the health and safety protections for women. And it's shocking what's happening once it passed. And people are saying, oh, wait, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that extreme. And so we know that we're up against a formidable opponent. And of course, we are on the side of truth. And that's something that makes us have to talk about this every day. My recommendation to your viewers is to discern what you're hearing. If you hear that TV ad or that radio ad that says that women aren't going to get the health care they need, I mean, really, is that really going to happen? Or of course not. So we need to be discerning, probably more than we've seen in most modern times. There's also a trans aspect to this, and I hope that someday you'll talk about this on your show too.
But to that point, we all need to have our critical thinking caps on amid all this campaign messaging. Sue, there's a debate even among pro-lifers about the federal government's role in protecting life. For example, whether there should even be a federal abortion ban. Given this political moment that we're in, can you speak to the importance of the state and the state's role in defending life right now?
Oh, absolutely. The state, in fact, what we're talking about here with the amendment is amending the state's constitution, not just a law, the actual constitution itself of Florida or Missouri or Arizona or other states. So that's really going to the very foundational documents that we have, are our state constitutions. States are closest to the voter. So think about your state representative. Find out who your state representative is, your state senator, your governor. That's very, very important now for abortion policy. States will play a much greater role now and you've seen it in Florida. They had a heartbeat bill, but then they had a 15-week bill, and then they went ahead and passed the heartbeat bill later when they had the opportunity to do after Dobbs. And of course, Governor DeSantis is speaking out and is being a leader in Florida. So it's really important at the state level. We also believe, though, I just really need to say that we do believe that there is still a federal role. For example, most countries, we're one of the very few countries that don't have some sort of limit. I'm not saying ban, but I'm saying maybe a limit when a baby can feel pain, or a first trimester limit, or take your pick.
Absolutely.
But most countries have that.
And people need to know about that and, how extreme it is. Sue Liebel, we are so grateful for the national perspective that you bring. Thank you.
Thank you.